Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
We can do better than that. Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
All praises to the Most High God. We sounded like we meant it right there. Clap it up for the Most High. All praises, all praises, all praises. So this is another segment of Feed the Sheep. I'm your teacher today, Bishop Banaya. This is True Nation Israelite Congregation's closing Sabbath class. And we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to jump right into it. I think this title is very fitting for the season that we're in, right? They call it Passover season. We're almost there, a couple days away. So guess what? It's only fitting for this lesson to be titled From Glory to Glory. We on some spiritual stuff today, right? All praises to the Most High. From glory to glory. All right, so follow me. Here's the thing. We all know and understand that there's different levels of glory, right? Before I start, let's get a definition, though. Let's get a little bit of understanding real quick. Go ahead and read that for me, King. Yeah, all that right there.
Glory. Someone or something that is beautiful, magnificent, distinctive, or splendor in appearance.
Beautiful, magnificent, distinctive, or splendor in appearance, right? So we're dealing on a natural level, on a physical level, right? Go ahead.
A special cause for pride, respect, or delight.
Pride, right? There's two types of pride. There's a bad pride, but we're talking about a good pride. Like, for example, having pride in being an Israelite. That's a good pride, right? Go ahead.
A creation to the Most High in regards to people, places, or things.
And to be specific, a creation of the Most High in regards to people, places, or things, right? So when we see the world that the Most High has created, we understand that there's different levels of glory. Right? Some people see different cars. Some people see the beauty in different humans, right? A man might see the beauty and the glory of the Most High within a woman, or vice versa, right? I remember hearing a saying in the world, when brothers look at a certain woman, they say, you know what? There got to be a God. It got to be a God. Look at that sister. All right? So there's different levels of glory. All right? But regardless of what glory it is, whether it's a natural glory or a spiritual glory, guess what? It all belongs to the Most High. That's what we need to know and understand, right? All the glory belongs to who? It belongs to the Most High God without a shadow of a doubt, right? And the Most High, he's not willing to share his glory with anybody, right? All right, so let me get a couple synonyms. Read those all slowly for me.
Rich, lavish, opulent, impressive, grandeur, elegant, majestic, nobility, effulgent, a spectacle.
Or a spectacle. So everybody hear these synonyms, these different words for glory, right? There's another definition, right? In reverence to the Most High God. Let's get that.
Praise, worship, honor, thanksgiving, homage, reverence, and obeisance offered to a deity or a god.
And the deity or the God that we're talking about is who? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who we're talking about. That's who gets all my glory, and that's who gets all of your glory, right? Khan? Right. So we're dealing with Yahweh. That's who we're dealing with, all right? So let's do something real quick. I want to read something. There are different levels of glory in the physical realm, and there are different levels of glory in the spiritual realm. But the glory of the Most High is above all. Why? Because his character, because of his attributes, because of his dominion, and because of his power. All right? And his dominion in regards to how sovereign he is. He doesn't need permission to do anything from anybody. All right? So we're dealing with not only an all-knowing God, but we're dealing with a God that's all-powerful. All right. So it's prevalent that we continue to remind one another the power of the Most High and what kind of power you tapped into, because a lot of us forget sometimes. All right. So go ahead and give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13. We're going to start with that. Go to your Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, and we're going to read 1 through 5. Go ahead.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
See, and that's a shame. That's a shame. Because we have these instances in the world to where people praise the Most High without knowing that they're praising the Most High. Why? Because they're fascinated with the clouds, all right? They're blown away by the depths of the oceans, all right? They admire the mountains and all the creations of the Most High God, but yet they don't know the Most High God. All right? Go ahead and read.
But deemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world.
See, and they take all the creations of the Most High God, and guess what? They fall into a state of idolatry where they're worshiping the wind, the fire, all right, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and read.
With whose beauty, if they being delighted took to them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
Read that part again.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
See, and that's something that we got to figure out. All right? If you're worshiping the creation of the Most High God, how much better is the Most High himself? All right? We're convinced here, all right? But there's a lot of our people that, hey, they're lost in regards to understanding this. All right? But go ahead and read.
For the first author of beauty hath created them.
Read that again.
For the first author of beauty hath created them.
For the first author of beauty have created them. Who is that? That's the Most High God, right? He's the first author of beauty, right? Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? We already know. The scriptures also say that he's what? He's the Alpha and what? I'm the beginning and the end, the first and the last. The Most High is all that and some. All right? And that's something that we should never forget, right? But we got to remember these things in times of testing. All right? When we're going through these tribulations and adversities, right? Because oftentimes, guess what? We take our eyes off the Most High God and we forget the very thing that we're talking about right now. All right? And that's not a good thing. Give me the next scripture. Let's go to Psalms chapter 19. Nah. You know what? Go ahead and give me verse 5. Was that 4? Yeah, go ahead and go down to verse 5.
Verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them.
Read.
For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably the maker of them is seen.
So we see the glory of the Most High. Even, look, let's take an example and look at the animal world. When you see all these different animals, all right, and certain animals have a different type of, what is it? Like when you look at a cheetah, you look at these different spots, and you see a zebra, and you see the uniqueness of the black and the white, and so on and so forth. You look at an elephant, and you see his mass, and, you know, an ape, and the ferociousness of a lion, and so on and so forth, right? Don't you see the Most High when you see these things? How much more should people see the Most High when they see you? All right? As being servants of the Most High God. All right? There's supposed to be a light that's shining inside of us that people are supposed to recognize. And whether they know what they're looking at or not, guess what? You know that they're supposed to be seeing the Christ in you, right? Right, Con? All right, all praises. So, was that verse 5? All right, give me Psalms 19. the book of Psalms, chapter 19, and we're going to get 1 through probably 3.
Book of Psalm, chapter 19, and verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
So it says, the creations of the Most High, guess what? The heavens show the glory of the Most High God, right? And the firmament showeth his handiwork. So all of his creations, all right? When you see the sun, the moon, the stars, and understand not that they're just up in the heavens, right? But they're meant for us to understand the times and the days and when the feasts are. All of these things have a purpose, right? The Most High hasn't done anything and it doesn't mean anything, right? He's not doing anything just to do it, all right? There's nothing vain about the Most High's creation. But go ahead.
Verse 3, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
So although the creations of the Most High, they're not verbally speaking like I am, guess what? They're sending us a message. And that message is when we look at the creation of the Most High and we understand that guess what? Nobody but the Most High could have done it. All right? Let's get an example. What about the Grand Canyon? Anybody familiar with the Grand Canyon? When you see that body of work in that sculpture, and you got all of these different layers of mountains and stones and things of this nature at the high altitude that it is, guess what? That's not man-made. That could only be of the Most High God. When you're dealing with the oceans and the depths of the seas, all right? And even Esau, he'll tell you, they have for so many years tried to understand the depths of the oceans, right? And what's at the bottom of the seas and what type of fish it is and all. They still haven't discovered all the creations of the Most High within the bodies of water that they are, all right? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. It doesn't matter what it is, all right? And the Most High God, he told us, you know, in a nutshell, there's really no way that you can find me out like that. You know what I'm saying? So even on this level, even on the lower levels of the glory of the Most High, right, we still don't understand all that the Most High has done for us, all right? But go ahead.
Verse 4, their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
Con, so that's all I need right there. Let's go to Sirach 18. Sirach 18, 1 through 5 real quick. I got to be careful because we already started a little late, so I want to make sure I get everything in. Sirach 18, 1 through 5.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 18, and verse 1.
Read.
He that liveth forever created all things in general.
All things created by the Most High God. Read.
The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will.
All things obey his will. Read.
For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
Right. And the Most High is so glorious, he divides the good from the evil. All right. The holy things from the unholy things. But go ahead and read, though.
To whom hath he given power to declare his works? And who shall find out his noble acts? Who shall number the strength of his majesty? And who shall also tell out his mercies?
Right. So, look, the Most High is asking us a rhetorical question. Guess what? At the end of the day, none of us can do it, all right? No matter how tapped in you are to the Most High, we'll never understand the things that we see in front of our eyes, all right? That's how glorious the Most High God is, all right? And a lot of these things we take for granted, all right? You can go in your backyard and look at your garden, and if you really meditate, you'll have an understanding of how close you can draw to the Most High just by understanding husbandry and looking at the process of planting, all right, sowing and reaping and so on and so forth, all right? It's a process that the Most High has created, and it's been here from the beginning, and it's going to continue until the Most High, you know, says different, right? But guess what? When you understand that process it's not an overnight process, all right? And it's the same thing when we come into this truth, all right? there's a certain point after you're rooted and grounded and planted, guess what? At some point, you're going to blossom, all right? At some point, you're going to become mature, and you're going to become full grown, all right? Where the Most High is able to use us, right? And that's the point where we all want to be, right? All right, so just like his creation, there's different levels of glory. There has to be different levels of glory within this walk, all right? For us to, we need to graduate, all right? Because we already understand, we all start off as babes, right? We all start off with the sincere milk of the word, right? But then there's a time that the Most High is calling us to graduate, to mature, all right? To become fine gold. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of us have been sifted out from amongst our own people, right? But we take it for granted. All right? Because if this was for everybody, every Israelite would be lined up and down Manchester. We wouldn't have a place for our people to worship. But the Most High is only dealing with a few of us. He's only dealing with the remnant of us, right? So that just goes to show how much we need to be thankful to the Most High God. All right, so where was I on that? No, I don't need that. All right, so let's drop down to, give me Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to read 20 through 28. Genesis chapter 1, 20 through 28.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
Right, so he's created everything in the waters, right, and the birds above. Go ahead and read.
And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
Read.
And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the air, in the earth. And the evening and the morning was the 5th day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind.
So we see with all the animals, the Most High made them after their own kind, whether they're in the water or whether they're land animals or whether they're in the air, right? But what happened after that? Read the next verse.
And God saw it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness.
Let us make man in our own image after our likeness, right? So as an Israelite, you're created in the image of the Most High God, all right? On a spiritual level, right? And more so even on a physical level, because the Most High, he sits on his throne, right? Right? All praises to the Most High God. Even though we know that God is a spirit, right? There's an aspect of him having a body, right? Legs, hair, right? We get his description in Revelation chapter 1, right? All right, but go ahead.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Right, so how much of a glory is that? That the Most High put within our spirit for us to be able to be over a large portion of his creation. How many of y'all take that for granted? None of us do, right? Guess what? How many dog trainers do I have in here? Any brothers good with training dogs or okay, so we got two, all right? We got a sister, right? Sister Karamia and Brother Rakab, right? So look, is it easy to train a dog and to have him be ready to do whatever you want at your own command? No, it's not easy. But whether you know how to do it or not, the Most High has given us that authority. He's given us that ability whether you exercise it or not, right? So we see, even when you look at Esau in his world, all right? You go to the zoo and you go to these different shows and stuff like that, right? You see that they're taming lions and different animals and stuff of that nature, right? All right? And that's on a physical level. But guess what? The Most High has given us that same dominion to tame your spirit and to rule your spirit as well. So how much more on a spiritual level? You see what I'm going? All right? So from one glory to the next, that's what we're dealing with, all right? From the natural to the spiritual, all right? We got to make sure that we look at these things and see these things not only in a physical light, but on a spiritual level, all right? Because the Most High, he wants growth from us, right? He doesn't want us to continue to be stagnant, right? You're not supposed to celebrate the Passover, all right? And then as soon as unleavened bread is over, you're back in the same spirit that you were before, all right? Exactly. As soon as you start going to the grocery store, putting leaven back into your home, guess what? The same bread of wickedness and malice is right back in your spirit. That's not going to work. That's not going to do any good, right? We're working backwards, right? So sometimes we got to look at what we're doing and ask ourselves, what are we doing? What are we doing? What am I really doing? All right? Am I giving the Most High God my all, or am I just on cruise control? All right? A lot of us have to look at ourselves, all right? Give me 1 Peter chapter 1. Give me 1 Peter chapter 1. Uh, 24. We're going to read 24 and 25.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 24. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass.
See, you see that? The Most High said all flesh is as grass. We just read in Genesis, right? Chapter 1, 20 through 28. Went through all the animals, all the creation, created man in my own image, and at the end of the day, look at it. The scriptures are saying that, in a nutshell, that we're nothing. All right? Go ahead and read.
The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you.
So that's something that we have to remember and we have to understand, all right? We're only here for a limited time. And you don't know how long your time is. And guess what? Just like teachers and parents advise us to use your time wisely, don't you think the Most High is doing the same in regards to your soul? Because if you don't use your time wisely on a spiritual level, guess what? It could be to your own damnation and condemnation, your own detriment, and you could be doing yourself a disservice. How would that feel, especially if you're a parent? You're teaching people how to live life. You're being an example to people, right? You're offering advice, telling them how to get through life. But when it comes to the spiritual aspect of things, guess what? It's like we're almost a hypocrite. There's a scripture that says, give me Sirach 1 and 29. Go there real quick. Give me Sirach 1 and 29. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 29. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest.
See that right there? So we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot and be that person that's able to offer all kinds of advice and you're able to help others, but you're a disservice to yourself. That's no good, right? People pick up on that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing. It hurts your reputation. It hurts your character. It hurts your legacy. It hurts your name, right? Because we want to have a good name at the end of the day. Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. A good name, right, is rather to be chosen than any riches or gold or anything of the sort. All right? Also in Proverbs 22 and 1. But it's another scripture I'm looking for, and I won't move on until I get it. The man that is profitable for others. Let me get that real quick. So we got to make sure that we have this understanding, all right? Being an example is not as easy as you think. Because being an example, and a good example is that, I mean, a good example at that, guess what? It could hurt you down the line. It can hurt you down the line. Guess what? People are known for you being that good example, and then the moment that you're not able to fulfill that anymore, guess what? People don't want advice from you anymore. All right? Now you're no good anymore. People still love you, still shaloming you, but guess what? they're not going to come to you for counsel anymore. All right? So go ahead and get that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37, and verse 19.
Yeah, that's what I want. Read.
There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
You see that? Hey, we don't want to be that kind of person right there in this truth, all right? You don't want to be profitable to all creation, but yet to yourself, you're a physician of no value. The things that you're offering people, guess what? You can't even apply it to yourself. That's a hypocrite. The Most High not dealing with that. So we got to be careful, all right? So let's go on to the next precept, man. Let me get Ephesians chapter 4. No, I'm done with that. Ephesians chapter 4, and we're going to read 4 through 6 and make sure that we have the understanding that the Most High is above all this creation. Go ahead.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 4.
Read.
There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
Right. That's us right here. Read on.
One Lord, one faith, one baptism.
Here's the point. Read.
One God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all.
Right. So the Most High is above all. All right. But at the same time, guess what? He's in all of us. So we got to be tapped in. The Most High is not only in you, but he's with you. He's beside you. He's in front of you. He's behind you. He's never left you. The scriptures say that I'll never leave you or forsake you. All right? So when we go through these difficult times, there's no use in you spinning around and acting like you don't know where the Most High is. He's inside you. But that's something that you can't forget, though, right? All right. Philippians 2 and 9. Let's go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 9.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, and verse 9. Wherefore God also hath highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name.
Who are we talking about right now? We're talking about Yahweh Shai, whom the world called Jesus Christ, right? The Most High hath highly exalted him, right? And given him a name above every name. So this is the Most High sharing his glory with his son, Yahweh Shai, right? Go ahead and read.
Verse 10. That at the name of Yahweh Shai, every knee should bow, of things in heaven, and things in earth, and things under the earth.
Right.
And that every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is Lord, to the glory of God the Father.
To the glory of God the Father. So look, all the glory is going back to the Most High. Even Yahweh Shai being used as an instrument, same thing with us. Even when we're used as instruments, all right, for the Father to get his glory, it's the same thing. We're just a vessel, right? But some of us, we try to look for that glory. You want a portion of the glory, all right? You want your quarter. You want your third. You want your half. But guess what? It don't work like that, all right? We have a part to do, but we need to make sure that we have our heads down and we're doing our part in humility, all right? We get ours on the back end, all right? Most High willing, we get ours on the back end when everything is all said and done. Either when Yahweh Shai come back or your heart stop beating and judgment day is upon you. Guess what? That's when we get ours. And Most High willing, we're on the right side of judgment, right? So, understanding that the Most High is above all right? And we know that the Most High exalts Yahweh Shai above all his creation as well. Let's get another one. Colossians 1 and 15. And one of the things that we don't recognize is crazy because the Most High, he shares his glory with us, but we don't operate like we need to with the amount of glory that he's given us. All right? We take that glory for granted that he gives us. All right? And with that glory, it becomes power. It's power. The Most High is actually transferring a level of power to you to be able to get things done to magnify his name in the earthly realm. All right? But we don't see it that way. A lot of us think it's an automatic thing, you know, And it just don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have problems even sitting through a Sabbath lesson, right? So how much more exercising the glory and the power of the Most High God? You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about people in their spirit in regards to not wanting to be here. That's really what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You really don't want to be here. You rather really be at home, you know what I'm saying? Probably making something to eat, watching the game. You know what I'm saying? This walk is a sacrifice. And the Most High, look, it's our reasonable service. He's not asking really that much of us, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, in the background, there's a kingdom waiting on us. We have a country that's waiting on us, all right? The Most High said, I have a place for you. I prepared a place for you. Guess what? A lot of us still want to be here, though. This is the place that we want to be. This is where we're comfortable in America. Even though the Most High God said, hey, I need you to depart and detach from this place. You know what I'm saying? I need you to store heavenly treasures. We're more concerned about here than we are the Most High God. All right? And that's not a good thing. But go ahead. Colossians 1:15.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 15.
Let's see some of the glory that the Most High gave Yahushua. Go ahead.
Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature.
The firstborn of every creature, right? He was the firstborn of the Most High God. Read on.
For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
If you didn't know that the Most High gave Yahushua that power, that much power and that glory, raise your hand. Everybody knows that the Most High created everything, but did you know that it was through Yahushua? Everybody has that understanding? All right, read on.
And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
Read.
And he is the head of the body of the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have preeminence.
Preeminence. Khan, read on.
Salakia. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
See, and that was a pleasing thing to the Father, that when I give my son Yahushua all of this glory, he's going to operate and do everything that I need him to do with that power, right? Have you ever known of somebody who has a certain level of power, but they don't exercise that power in the right way, or they abuse that power? How does that look? It's not a good look, right? Do you want to serve under people like that? Nah, none of us do. All right? So we have to make sure that we're accountable with the glory and the power that the Most High has given us as his servants, right? Going about your daily walk, right? Going about your daily business, to and fro, to the grocery store, so on and so forth, to school, whatever you do, to work and so on and so forth, right? We need to be mindful of who we belong to, and we need to be mindful of how we operate. These things are imperative, right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell, and having made peace through the blood of his cross, and by him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven.
Con, that's all I need. So, in a nutshell, Yahushua he was made to reconcile all things back to the Most High, to the Father. All right? Specifically, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right? All of us who are so-called Gentiles, who are really Israelites, all right? So that's what we need to know and understand. How many people want to come back to the Father? All praises to the Most High God. That's where we belong. We belong to our parents, right? So if the Most High is our Father, that's where the best case scenario is always going to be. Nobody wants to be in a situation to where you're up under the control of somebody who really doesn't care for you or want you or like you or love you. That's not a good situation. All right, let me get John 1. John 1 and 1 real quick. John 1 and 1.
The book of John 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God,
Right.
and the Word was God.
In the beginning was the Word. Yahweh Shai was in the beginning with the Most High. Right? And the Word was the Most High, meaning he's on one accord with the Most High. They think the same way. They operate the same way. All right? Go ahead and read.
The same was in the beginning with God.
Read.
All things were made by him, and without him was not any made that was made.
Was not anything made that was made. Drop down to verse 14.
14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
Right. So Yahweh Shai has a certain level of glory. Khan? All praises to the Most High. We know it doesn't supersede the glory that the Most High has, but he has a level of glory, right? And then even when you look at on a physical level, a natural level, when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and you see the glory that the Most High has given what? The Israelite man. When you deal with the head order. The Israelite man, then what? Then the woman, then what? Then the children. It's glory in all those aspects. It's different levels, but it's glory in all of these things. Because we serve one another, right? All right, so let me get Acts 4 and 10 real quick. Let's make sure that we understand the importance of Yahweh Shai and believing on him. Why is it so important? Because it tells us as Israelites, the Bible tells us, guess what? You got to keep the commandments, but you got to believe on who? You got to believe on Yahweh Shai. All right? That's just as important as us keeping the commandments. So let's see what that looked like. Let's see how important it really is for us to believe on Yahweh Shai. All right? Yeah, let me get Acts 4 and 10. Go ahead, King.
The book of Acts, chapter 4, and verse 10. Be it known unto you all, and to all the people of Israel, that by the name of Yahweh Shai, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him does this man stand here before you whole.
Right? Because look, it was a situation to where there was a lame beggar, right? He was a lame, and he was asking for money in front of the temple. And Peter and John came across this brother, right? And in a nutshell, Peter said, look, he said, I don't have any money, but what I do have to give you, I'm going to give you that. And guess what that was? That was that faith for the man to be able to stand up and be healed and walk into that same building, that same house of worship, right? So let's go ahead and continue. Read verse 11.
This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner.
So we know Yahweh Shai is that stone. He's the cornerstone that the builders did what? They rejected. All right? Some of the elders rejected Yahweh Shai. Some of the scribes rejected Yahweh Shai. Some of the Pharisees rejected Yahweh Shai. But not all his people rejected him, right? You and I didn't reject him, right? Khan, go ahead.
Neither is there salvation in any other.
Read that again.
Neither is there salvation in any other.
This is one of the more important reasons why you need to believe on Yahweh Shai, because salvation does not come in any other name. All right? This is how important Yahweh Shai is. This is how important the glory that the Most High gave to Yahweh Shai. It's for a reason. All right? You can't dish Yahweh Shai and say, I accept, I'm dealing with you. No. The way it was set up is the way that we have to operate. All right? How does it feel if I say, you know what? Hey, brother, you cool, man. I like you and your kids, but I ain't really feeling your wife like that, all right? How's that going to sit with that brother? It's not going to sit well. All right? So it's the same way with the Most High God. Yahweh Shai is prevalent, all right? Not only is he prevalent, but he's present. And he has an operation and a function. All right? And we have to respect that. So the Most High has given him a tremendous amount of glory and authority and power. And we got to respect that as Israel. So read that again. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
Right. And that's why you call on that name when you get in trouble. Even when you didn't know Yahushua, even before you became an Israelite. All right? Guess what? By default, you know, you were yelling the wrong name, but you knew that, hey, you knew the Son of the Most High as what? Jesus Christ. What did you call on? Jesus Christ. Now we know his true name, we're calling on Yahushua. But it's the same thing. All right? You know in times of peril and in times of trouble, and when you in your time of need, you're going to call on the Most High, but you're going to do it in that order, right? In the name of who? I want to hear it loud and clear on 3. In the name of who? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, in that name, all right? So we ain't getting salvation in any other name but that name, period, right? So let's get another reason, the importance of Yahushua and believing on him. Let's get John 5. John chapter 5, verse 19. Very, very important scriptures right here. Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 5, and verse 19. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them,
What'd he say?
Verily, verily, I say unto you,
So he said, truly, truly, I say unto you. Read on.
the Son can do nothing of himself.
Read it again.
The Son can do nothing of himself.
So if Yahushua can do nothing of himself and he has to operate through the source, which is the power, how much more you? How much more us? All right? There's nothing that we're doing. All the great works, you know, people see in, you know, True Nation this, True Nation that. They got a music ministry that's off the charts. Say La Soul. They got good teachers. You know what? They mean well over there, man. They trying to do the works of the Most High God. Guess what? That glory goes to the Most High God. Point blank, period. All praises. Go ahead and read.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself. What seeth the Father do, for what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise.
And I like how the Most High, I like how Yahushua emulates the Most High. He said, what I see the Father do, I'm going to do that. And that's what we need to do, right? That's the kind of bag that we need to be in. Especially when it comes to our affairs in the world and dealing with people. That's when we tend to forget most. All right? And I press and drive that point home so many times because that's when it counts. It doesn't count when you're getting the advice. It doesn't count when you're getting the counsel. It counts when you're about to get in a heated argument. It counts when you're not on one accord with your brother and sister. That's when it counts. That's when the Most High is looking down and see, you see what? You know what? I want to see what you're going to do now. That's when it actually counts. It doesn't count just by you knowing the information. All right? That's why it's a saying, if you know better or if you knew better, then do what? Then do better. So we get equipped with all this information, all right? All these teachings and all these lessons. Most of us can say, you know what? I'm in a place to where my spirit is getting fed, right? Most of us will be able to say that, right? But if they're that important, if you're getting fed that much, right, then why aren't we applying these things when it counts? That's the question that I got to ask. All right? And that's for you to answer within yourself. But why not at the times of these different situations and encounters and problems or whatever that we have with or amongst each other? Now all of a sudden we forgot everything. The whole blueprint for us to get out of the situation where we're brain dead all of a sudden. When we need these circumstances to be applied. It just doesn't make any sense. We got to do better, Israel. All right? Where was I at? So go ahead and finish. Yeah, I want verse 20. We're going to go through verse 24. Go ahead.
Verse 20. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel.
Right. Greater works. All right. Remember that. Go ahead.
For as the Father raiseth up the dead, and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will.
Y'all heard that? So the Father, he raised up the Son and quickeneth him, right? Didn't he resurrect his Son? Yahushua is doing the same thing on a spiritual level to Israel. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, they're being resurrected. They're being made alive again in the spirit, right? According to John 6:63. But go ahead and read.
For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son.
Did y'all catch that? That's the other reason why we need to understand the importance of believing on Yahushua. Read that one again.
For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son.
The Most High gave Yahushua that much glory. He said, not only am I going to put salvation in your hands, and every name under heaven, nobody can get salvation unless they come through and use your name, right? He said, but I'm going to put judgment in your hands as well. So the Father is doing all the judging through the Son. All right? And guess what? We're able to get some of that glory as well. Because guess what? Are we not supposed to judge ourselves? Right? Are we not supposed to judge other brothers when it's time or sisters? Khan? So we getting the same glory. All right? It's being transferred. It's from one glory to another. Khan? All right, go ahead.
That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father which hath sent him.
So that's how important Yahushua is. But go ahead and read one more.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word, and believeth on him that sent me, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into damnation, but is passed from death unto life.
Right, so we don't want to be condemned at the end of the day. So Yahushua is a very, very important picture in this whole scheme of us trying to attain salvation. Can I get a big con for that? All praises to the Most High God. All right. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15, 39.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, and verse 39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds.
So did everybody get that? The Most High God said all flesh isn't the same, right? All right, I have man that I made in my image. I also created the other nations who aren't my chosen. And I also created animals and things of that nature, right? The whole animal kingdom, right? He said, but they're different, all right? Because animals don't operate in the spiritual realm like we do. All right? Once they're dead and gone, they're dead and gone. That's it. They don't have to go up and receive the same judgment that we have to deal with. All right? Everybody got me? But continue reading. Go ahead.
Verse 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial.
Hold on. Read that again.
There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial.
There are also celestial bodies, glorified bodies. All right? Bodies like the angels have, right? And then what?
And bodies terrestrial.
And bodies terrestrial, these fleshly bodies. All right? Read on.
But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun.
Wait, stop right there. So he said, the glory of the celestial is one glory. All right? A glorified body. Let's try to picture that real quick. A celestial body where you're able to teleport, for lack of better words, where you're able to not experience pain again, all right, where you're able to live forever. Somebody help me out. Give me something in regards to celestial bodies. Go ahead.
He said, feel no sickness.
Yeah, no pain, no sickness, no crying, no dying. Right, hey, no temptation. All right? No death. All right? That's the glory of a terrestrial body. Of a celestial. Not only that, but guess what? You're able to be in the presence of the Most High and Yahushua. Even more importantly, you're able to withstand their glory and be in their presence, right? Without being destroyed by their splendor and their brilliance and so on and so forth, right? And then the scriptures say that there's another glory of the terrestrial body, right? This body has a certain level of glory, and I'm going to tell you how. When you look at the functions of how our bodies operate, even more so our internals, all right? When you deal with how our brain works, how all of these different systems in our bodies are connected to each other and compact in this one fleshly body. You got a digestive system. What are the name of some of the other systems that we have? You got a cardiovascular system. You have a nervous system. You have a respiratory system. All right? And so on and so forth. You have all of the activities of your limbs. You have the five senses, right? You have your sight. You have your hearing. You have your smell, your taste. What's the other one? And your touch. And you even have a sixth sense, so to speak, which is the spiritual aspect. All right? These are the different glories of the physical body, of the terrestrial body, of the fleshly body. So there's even a glory within this. But let's not be bound to this glory right here. All right? Because this is a limited glory. The Most High has so much more better for us than this right here. I want a glorified body over this fleshly body. Even though this fleshly body, it has its glories. But at the same time, guess what? My knees hurt. My ankles hurt. My back hurts. All right? So there's no glory in that. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get that illustration though. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get migraine headaches out of nowhere. So the physical pain and the traumas that we go through, you know what I'm saying? When we get a glorified body, Most High willing, we won't have to deal with these things anymore. All right? All praises to the Most High God. But just to show there's different levels of glory, even in the streets, we had that understanding. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this. Anybody who make money and know how to get a bag and hustle and do all these different things, they'll tell you there's levels to it. Same thing in the spirit realm. There's levels to this. All right? And we need to get on a level that the Most High wants us on right now while we have an opportunity. Because things are ramping up. Believe it or not, all right? Not only did our channel get terminated or deleted, there was another camp. The same thing happened. So it's all our war on the truth right now, whether y'all know it or not. All right? And it's like a wildfire, and the Most High understands what he's doing, right? But Esau, he's trying to stop the awakening. He's trying to stop the prophecies. He's not going to be able to do it, but nice try. You own YouTube, but the prophecy's still going to be fulfilled. But we got to see these point of attacks that the enemy has against us and our people. You know, but guess what? The number isn't fulfilled yet. So other Israelites still have to find out what it is. All right? And a lot of it is going to have to be done by word of mouth. All right? But go ahead with that. What verse were you on, King?
Verse 40, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Right, we just explained that. Read on.
There is one glory of the sun. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory.
So the sun has its own glory and its own purpose and its own functions. The same thing with the moon, all right? It has its glory. It lights up the night sky, all right? Whether you have light poles in your neighborhood, whether you live in a far country, guess what? No matter what the case, at the end of the day, the Most High, he's gonna light up that sky with that moon, and you're gonna see them stars, and they're never gonna fail, all right? They're gonna always keep the ordinances that the Most High has given them, right? So, and it even says even the stars have a different amount of glory, all right? Some stars are more prevalent than others, all right? Some stars have more of a function or a duty than others, all right? Even when you go into the different, let's get an example. Passover is upon us, but we know during the time of Passover, the sun is going to be in a specific constellation. So those stars aren't just up there just to be up there. Yeah, they give light, but they have other purposes and other functions. They have other glories, right? So I believe is it Aries now? All right. So you already know, if you have an understanding, a basic understanding, you're gonna know that Passover is not only gonna be in the spring equinox or the vernal equinox, right? But you're gonna understand that Passover has to be celebrated in Aries in regards to the sun. And even the moon has its certain functions as well, all right? So the Most High is brilliant, all right? And these are all things and all different levels of glory that the Most High is operating in, all right? But go ahead.
Verse 42. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption.
Read.
It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
Right. So at the end of the day, when your body is stiff and cold and rigor mortis sets in and it's funeral time, that's not really an inviting thing. We don't like to see that. None of us like to see our family members and our friends in that kind of state. But the scriptures say at the end of the day, if you were righteous, guess what? Even though you were sown in corruption, you were raised in incorruption. All right? Those are the glorified bodies that we're trying to get to. Go ahead and read.
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Right? So y'all see that? We have these different comparisons and contrasts, all right? And we need to understand that there's glory in both. But we want to be more connected to the spiritual aspect. That's the glory that never fades away. All right? Let's get, give me a quick second. So let's do this. I now want to go to the book of Exodus, chapter 33 and 17. Exodus 33 and 17.
The book of Exodus, chapter 33 and verse 17.
Let's see the Most High showing us a few glimpses of his glory down here where we are, in this heaven, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
Read.
And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory.
Show me that what?
Show me thy glory.
So Moses wanted to see the Most High, right? Right? He wanted to see his glory. Go ahead and read.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
So the Most High told Moses, guess what? I'm gonna show you a little something. I'm gonna show you a little something. You want to see something? I'm gonna show you. Go ahead.
And he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live.
You can't see my face, but I'm gonna show you a little something. Read on.
And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock.
So he said, you're going to stand on this rock, but when I pass by, I'm going to put you in the cleft of the rock, all right? I got to hide you a little bit. Go ahead and read.
and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen.
Read. Is that it? No, that's all I need. So, understanding that Moses was able to see a small portion of the glory of the Most High, all right, in this realm, in this heaven. There's so much more for us to see, though, all right? I'm not too quick to say that I want to be in the presence of the Most High and my spirit is not right and I'm not operating the way that he wants me to. But I do want to be in the presence of the Most High and Yahweh Shai. I do want to sip that wine with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, because that's when he's going to be sipping again, right? I want to keep the Passover, but I want to make sure that I have the right spirit. I want to make sure that I have the right body. I want to make sure that I'm operating in the right glory, all right? Not trying to glory above the glory that's been given to me, all right? But where I'm supposed to be in humility, all right? So let me get another situation. Let's go to Exodus 19. Chapter 12, verse 12.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 12.
This is at Mount Sinai. Go ahead.
And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death.
And that's the thing about the Most High. He gives specific directions, and I like that. All you got to do is stick to the script, stick to the guidelines, stick to the directions, and everything's going to be okay. You're safe. As soon as you veer off and add one extra thing in or take anything away, you're in trouble. All right? That's going to be your behind. All right? But go ahead.
There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man. It shall not live when the trumpet soundeth long. It shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount.
Right. So when the trumpet sounded long, then you come up to the mount, right? But before that, I gave you instructions, all right? Don't just approach. Don't be hasty, all right? Be patient. Go ahead.
And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
So just like we have to sanctify ourselves for Passover, same situation here. All right? The Most High said, look, make sure you clean. Make sure your spirit is clean. And don't go in into your wives. We're not dealing with that aspect of relations right now. Be ready to see me and meet me. Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
So that all the people in the camp trembled. So imagine the glory of the Most High, or the presence of the Most High, coming here on earth, and the Most High making a visit. All right? Can you imagine that? The thunderings, the lightnings, the voices as many, the voice, the sound of many waters. Is that something that we can stand? You know what I'm saying? All right? A lot of us be hooping and hollering and crying, you know what I'm saying? When it starts thundering and lightning. We run for cover from that. So how much more the Most High in his presence? And not only that, but not being in the right spirit. That's the whole thing. That's the scary thing right there. We got to be in the right spirit when we dealing with the Most High. And Elder Karatazah spoke on that earlier. Like, it's profound. Like, it has to happen. You know what I'm saying? We can't be in a situation to where we continue to take the grace and the mercy of the Most High for naught. And I just think a lot of Israelites, they just going through the motions. If it's not you, then don't get offended. I'm talking to those who it applied to, though. If the shoe fit, guess what? Wear it. But you can't go through the motions and think you're finna get this glory. You can't go through the motions and think you're finna get the rulership, the kingdom, and be adored by Yahweh Shai and the Most High and the ruler over 10 cities, and you're not getting that. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you're getting that. All right? But go ahead, King.
Verse 17. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount.
The nether part is the lower part. All right? Go ahead.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire.
Hey, it was on fire. It was on a smoke. All right? Because the Most High in his presence and his glory descended. Go ahead and read.
And the smoke thereof ascended as the and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly.
Imagine that. Fire, lightning, earthquake by the presence of the Most High God. What you going to do then? All right? There's no room to utter, and there's no room for error at that point. All that God forgive me, and I'm sure people were shook up, man. All right? And our forefathers, they were there for this. But how would we react in the same situation? That's just something that you got to think about, though. All right? Go ahead and read.
God. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up.
See, Moses was able to do that. He was able to deal with the Most High like that because his spirit was right. All right? He was pure. He was unleavened, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish.
See, he said, look, you better go get your people and tell your people, look, the same instruction I gave them before, you better remind them. Try to break forth through and gaze and look and see, you know what I'm saying? You get destroyed, you get killed. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too curious. Follow instruction. Go ahead and read.
And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them.
How does that sound? I don't even know what that means. Break forth and let the Most High break forth. Right. Let loose. None of us want the Most High to get at us like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. We used to man, and you know what I'm saying? A lot of us could take a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers probably been jumped and stuff like that. You a survivor. You got beat up by 3 or 4 people, some sisters, you know what I'm saying? Probably got your earring snatched out your ear or your nose. You were still tough enough. But look, we're dealing with the Most High God. You're going to get destroyed playing with the Most High like that. So you got to be right. You got to be right. All right? And there was a preparation before you was able to come into the presence of the Most High. Just like this Passover. You had to prepare yourself. Even when potential queens were dealing with kings and things of that nature. It was a purification process. It was a preparation process. You just didn't go and present yourself any old kind of way. It don't work like that. Even in relationships and you're meeting new people and things of that nature, you're courting and stuff like that. You're not finna, you courting another Israelite brother or sister, right? You finna show up your best. All right? You're gonna shower. When you pick that clothing, you're going to be very picky, all right? You're going to smell your best. You're going to look your best. That's what the Most High, that's what he wants from us. You're going to be meticulous, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 24. 23. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount and sanctify it.
That's all I need on that. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let me give one more example. Ezekiel 1:26. Ezekiel 1:26.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, and verse 26. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne.
So we're dealing with the angels of the Most High God, all right? Go ahead.
As the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it.
So above the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man above that. All right? Let's get some more. Read.
And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within him, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. I saw as it were an appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about. As
So we're there's an understanding that we're looking at the brilliance and the splendor and the light of the Most High. All right? The glory emanating from the angels. All right? But the presence of the Most High above that. Understand what we're dealing with. All right? And I know we're in these fleshly bodies now, and it's hard to, you're reading the scriptures, and we're trying to process it, but this is something that you got to meditate on. All right? Because this is actually what we're shooting for. Everybody wants the kingdom up in here, right? That's our goal. Well, guess what? We got to be more kingdom-minded and think more kingdom-like. You can't be as carnal as we were 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Bible constantly tells us, think upon these things. Think upon this. Think upon that. Meditate on this. Meditate on that. Ponder this. Ponder that. All right? You can't be pondering wickedness and thinking upon fornication. You know what I'm saying? And meditating on adultery. That's not what we're doing. All right? Go ahead, man.
Verse 28. As the appearance of a bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord.
Read that part again for me.
This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord.
That's an awesome, awesome thing. All right? I've heard situations to where people, and I don't know whether to believe them or not. You know, I've heard people in the truth say that they've seen the glory of the Most High in regards to, you know, a light appearing in a room or, you know, situations like that. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody that they're a liar. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Right. All praises. And I believe some people have. I believe some people have. But to the level of what we're reading now, this is the kind of glory that I want to see and that I hope I'm prepared for. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to cleanse ourselves. We got to wash our hands of all the blood that's on our hands. All right? And we got to be nice to each other, kind to each other. You know what I'm saying? When you're in this truth, you got to get rid of them foul spirits, but there's a certain level of vulnerability that you got to have. Not being naive and being a fool, but there's a certain level. I'm putting myself out there. I'm trusting myself around you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not always an easy thing to do compared to some of the past that we had, right? A lot of us have been disappointed when we've given certain people the benefit of the doubt in our past, right? A lot of them didn't really do by you the way you thought that they would do by you. You know what I'm saying? All right? So a lot of us are building trust. I understand that. You know, it's a part of life. We're building trust again. All right? We're letting our guards down. We're being vulnerable for the sake of the Most High God and righteousness. I get it. Yeah, but don't be a naive fool at the same time. So just like in everything, there's a balance. There's a balance, all right? So that's all I needed on that. Let's go to Matthew. Time is getting by me really quick. Matthew 1. And let me see, because I want excuse me, Matthew 17. My apologies. Matthew 17. And I'm just going to have to get to the point instead of, let's start at 14.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic, and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire, and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me.
Listen to this. Read verse 16 again, because this is the point that I want to make.
And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him.
So here's a man that needs his son to be healed, and now he's approaching Yahushua, Jesus the Christ, for healing, right? But what did this man say? He said, before I came to you, I took him to your disciples. And what happened?
And they could not cure him.
You see that right there? That's a problem. That's a problem when we are supposed to be followers of Yahushua. All right? And a representation of light in the earth. And the Most High puts these different spirits and people in our pathway, and we don't deal with them and handle them properly. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because it's bigger than the sickness. You know? We're all at different levels of prayer and belief and things of that nature, but we're dealing with faith right here. All right? And it's a mandatory thing, because it was mentioned earlier that this is not only a house of learning, but it's a hospital. And people are coming in many different kinds of ways. They're coming in broken, all right? They're coming in and they need special care. They need special attention, all right? And some of y'all are spiritual CNAs, I should say. You're nurses and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is the doctor, though, right? But we have a role to play in the healing of some of our brothers and sisters. And you got to take that serious. Especially being a leader, not just up here, but we all lead in different aspects and regards. You know what I'm saying? So are we going to be of no help to our people? Or are you going to help? Pick a side, because it's not that hard. Are you going to help? Are you here for your people, or are you not here? Or are you just a body? We got to make up our mind. All right? But go ahead.
Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me.
See? And Yahushua said all of this after his disciples weren't ready. All right? I'm talking about the 12. All right? But go ahead and read.
And Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could we not cast him out?
They want to know why they couldn't do it. Why couldn't they cure it, right? Why couldn't they cast out the devil? Why couldn't they help? Let's see.
Then, verse 20, then Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief.
Because of your what?
Because of your unbelief.
See? That's a problem, but go ahead and read.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have the faith as a grain of mustard seed.
As a grain of what?
Mustard seed.
Right? A mustard seed. How many people know about a mustard seed? It's this big. All right? It's tiny. It's minuscule. All right? Go ahead.
Ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting.
He said, but if you want that kind of faith to remove mountains, to cast out demons, to be able to operate like Yahushua did and do greater things, guess what? It's going to take some faith. All right? So a lot of us are going to go from one level of understanding to another, from one faith to another, from one glory to another. But we got to get on it. We can't just ride a treadmill and stay in the same place, all right? It's not going to work like that, all right? We got to get better. Now let's go to John. (14:6), because we're finna deal with this mustard seed. John 14:6.
The book of John, chapter 14, verse 6.
Read.
Yahushua saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
How many of y'all believe that? All praises to the Most High God. Read.
If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him.
Go ahead.
Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Yahushua saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father?
Right. So how are you going to say, show me the Father, when you've been with me the whole time? All right? And the Father is in me. All right? Go ahead.
Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works.
He doeth the works. We're just a vessel, but read on.
Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake.
Read.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
And greater works shall we do, because we go through the Father, because we tapped in with the Father. All right? So that's a level of faith that you got to have, especially when you read all the works and the miracles that Yahushua has done. You may not be able to physically walk on water like that, but guess what? We're still going to do greater works in other capacities. All right? And you have to be able to believe and receive that and function according to the Most High. All right? Because some people try to take things upon their own self and do their own works in their own spirit, and that's not going to work. But according to the will of the Most High, we have greater works and things that we need to do for the Father. But there's a certain mindset that we have to have, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do. That will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son.
That the Father may be glorified in the Son. Read on.
If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it.
Anything, all right? So just tapping into that power that we have. Give me Matthew 17 real quick. Con. I want to, there's something that I want to pull out of here real quick. Go ahead and read verse 1. 17:1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17, and verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them.
And what happened?
And his face did shine as the sun,
Right.
and his raiment was white as the light.
So verse 2 says he was transfigured before them, right? This is after the resurrection. He was transfigured. Somebody give me another word for transfigured. He was changed. That's what I'm looking for, right? And a lot of us need to be transfigured. All right? Because we haven't given the Most High everything that we can. All right? You've been transformed, but you're not transfigured yet. Because there's levels to this. All right? Go ahead and read.
And was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them.
Did what?
A bright cloud overshadowed them.
All right.
And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, to whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
Right, so the presence of the Most High is upon Yahweh. Go ahead, read.
While he yet spake, behold, Salakia, verse 6, and when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid. And Yahweh came and touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man, save Yahweh only. And as they came down from the mountain, Yahweh charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man, until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead.
Go ahead.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come?
Right. Why did they say that Elijah must first come? Let's go ahead and get the answer. Read.
And Yahweh answered and said unto them, Elias surely shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
So John the Baptist was Elijah. All right, the same spirit. So why did I bring this up? Because the fact of the matter is, we have names like Mark, John, Tish, Paula, Jason. But at the end of the day, guess what? You don't know who you are in the spirit world. You don't know who the man next to you or the woman next to you, who are they in the spirit world? You don't know who you're dealing with a lot of the times. And that's another reason why we got to handle each other carefully. You could be sitting next to somebody that's dearly beloved in the spirit to the Most High God, and you treat them like a piece of trash, or you treat them less than, when they could be beloved of the Most High God. All right? They can be that minor prophet. It's a possibility. They could be that major prophet. They could be a Susanna. All right? And so on and so forth. So these are things that we just got to remember and understand. All right? And it's a very, very serious thing. 1 Samuel 10 and 6. You know what? Yeah. Let's go to, before then, you know what? Before then, I want to do something. Matthew 17 real quick. No, I don't. Matthew 13. Excuse me. Appreciate it. Matthew 13 and give me 31.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 31. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of a mustard seed.
So y'all remember we talked about the mustard seed, right? And how small it is, right? But the Bible also let us know how much can be done with the mustard seed. All right? It said that you could remove mountains. All right? It said that we can do a lot of things in the spirit. There's a lot of things that we can accomplish in the spirit realm with just a small faith the size of a mustard seed. I want to ask y'all a question real quick. Do you think that mustard seed is supposed to stay the same size? What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to grow. Yep. Cultivate. Transform. Blossom. All right? Let's continue reading this, though. Go ahead.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed it in his field.
Read.
Which indeed is the least of all seeds.
It's the smallest of all seeds. Read.
But when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs.
But when it is grown, is what?
The greatest among herbs.
It's the greatest among herbs. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of blossoming to do. We're not done yet. All right? We have more work to do for the Most High than we've already done. Because a lot of us, we have a nice body of work. We've accomplished things for the Most High. We've been in the truth 7, 10, 15, 20 years, right? But guess what? There's still more work to be done. Israel is not a finished product yet. But go ahead and read.
And becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof.
Do you hear that analogy? Not only do you go from a small mustard seed, but to a great tree where families of birds are able to come and lodge and nest. All right? That has to be a gigantic tree. That's a giant transformation. All right? From one glory to the next. Because it's a glorious thing to be able to go in Home Depot and pull a few things off the rack. I want, strawberries, tomatoes, and onions. And then go home and plant it and go through the process. And 8 weeks later, 12 weeks later, whatever the case may be, however long it takes for that growth to happen, and now all of a sudden you're going in your backyard and you're picking those strawberries and you're reaping the benefits. How much more in the spirit realm? You know what I'm saying? When brothers and sisters are able to recognize, oh, I remember when you first came in. You feel me? You've grown so much. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, sister. Your faith is so big now, right? You're not being so easily beset from the things that used to bother you so much. You're overcoming now. All right? You're strong now. Faith to faith, understanding to understanding, glory to glory. All right? We got big things to do for the Most High. Go ahead and read. Yeah, let me get that. I want that.
Another parable spake he unto them.
This is a one-verse parable right here. What is it? Read.
The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven.
Like unto what?
Like unto leaven.
Read.
Which a woman took and hid 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened.
Till the whole was leavened. All right? So guess what? Birds of a feather flock together, right? And I know we're going into Passover and unleavened bread, but when you're dealing with good ground, you're dealing with fertile ground, right? What did the scriptures tell us? That a little leaven what? Leaveneth the whole lump. All right? So we're going to reverse our thinking. Okay? And make sure that while we're amongst one another, and we're bonding and building and doing our thing according to the scriptures and growing as a body and so on and so forth, right? Learning from each other. Guess what? The spirit has to spread amongst one another. But we all got to be in the same spirit. Okay? We can't have a spirit of division, a spirit of opposition, and things of that nature. It's either the lump is going to be a good lump or it's going to be a bad lump. And at True Nation Israelite congregation, we've decided to be a good lump for the Most High God. All right? All praises to the Most High God. I wanted that one scripture real quick. Where did I go? Oh, 1 Samuel 10. 1 Samuel 10, 6 and 7 real quick.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 6.
Read.
And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man.
Read that again.
And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and thou shalt be turned into another man.
See, King Saul is telling, Samuel is telling Saul this. He said, when the Spirit comes upon you, you're going to be changed into another man or changed into another woman. All right? That's that transfiguration from us going from one glory to another. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are motivational speakers. They got the ability to jump in front of people. They got a natural gift, right? They're able to go to different places of employment and corporations, and they get paid to do this, to speak and, build people up. But how much more for the Most High God when he put this Spirit on you Now you're all of a sudden on the street corners, and you never saw yourself doing that. But the Most High changed you into another man or another woman because the Spirit of the Most High overwhelmed you and overtook you. You know what I'm saying? I could never see myself up here doing what I'm doing now. I never thought, it never came to my mind. When I came to True Nation Israelite Congregation almost 7 years ago, guess what? I was just happy to be here. I was happy because I knew my purpose in life. I was happy because I understood that I was one of the chosen of the Most High God. I didn't go too far into thinking like, oh, well, this is what I'm going to be doing. And then I didn't know what the Most High wanted me to do, but keep his commandments. All right? And I was happy with that. All right? Me and my wife, we looked around and I said, man, leadership is kind of young here. They are sons' age. I was like, man, that was a humbling thing. But guess what? I remained humble. I kept the right spirit. And all of those brothers that were leading then, and even some of them still lead now, they are my witness. They're able to tell you that I never felt some kind of way toward them because of how young they were. Ever. Am I lying, Yash? Kanash, am I lying? Yatab, am I lying? All right, all praises. Anybody that used to, you know what I'm saying? Any of my brothers and sisters, Ash, same thing. So there's a certain level of humility that the Most High has to put you in for him to get the best out of you. And a lot of us don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain place that he needs you for you to be able to be of value to him. You know what I'm saying? We all need different levels of humbling. Some of us need to be humbled more than others. But for you to go on from the glory that you're at to reach that next glory for the Most High God, there's some picking and pruning that needs to be done. All right? And we need to do it to ourselves because the scriptures tell us to examine ourselves, right? Well, where was I at? Go ahead and read that again. Just read 7.
Verse 7. And let it be, when these signs are come unto thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, and God is with thee.
So look, don't abuse the power that the Most High has given you. When he puts his spirit on you, make sure you're doing the right thing with his spirit. Make sure you're operating the right way that the Most High wants you to operate when he gives you that glory, when he makes that spiritual deposit into you, right? You feel what I'm saying? It's something that the Most High is trying to get done. And at the end of the day, all the glory, it goes back to the Most High. Boomerang right back to the Most High God. So let's remember that. Let me get a couple more. Let me get one brother. Let me see. Real quick. One brother give me Job 17:9. Another brother give me Proverbs 4:18. And the last brother give me Luke 2:40. So that's 3 scriptures right there. Let me start with Job 17:9. Go ahead.
The book of Job, chapter 17 and verse 9.
Wait, that might be 19, excuse me. Job 17:9, my bad.
The book of Job, chapter 17 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that have clean hands shall be stronger and stronger.
So there's a song called Hold On. Hold on. Even the scriptures tell us to hold on fast to that which is good, which is the way that you're going right now, according to righteousness, right? Hold on to that. Don't let that go. But then he said, and he that hath clean hands, you shall become stronger and stronger. So I'm looking for my brothers and sisters to become stronger and stronger in the faith. All right? to progress, to be on the incline. All right? Not to be stagnant. But the key is, he that hath clean hands. All right? So we still need to prepare ourselves. All right? Some of us are still going through the fire, but guess what? Purify yourself. Allow the Most High to purify you. All right? Give me the next one. Proverbs 4:18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 18.
Read.
But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day.
See, that's what we're going for right there. There's light down the tunnel. We're the just, all right? We're on a narrow path. We're not falling to the left or to the right, but it says that we're going to shine more and more into that perfect day. All right? So we should be progressing. Before Luke 2:40, give me one more. Give me Philippians 1:9 through 11. I don't think I called that out before. Philippians chapter 1:9 through 11. And then give me Luke 2:40.
The book of Philippians chapter 1 and verse 9.
Read.
And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment.
See, so what is love according to the Bible? The keeping of the commandments. So the Most High is saying, I'm praying, and I'm praying for my brothers and sisters literally, that you abound in these laws and commandments more and more, not only in knowledge, but in judgment as well. Right? Read on.
Verse 10, that ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense.
Without what?
Without offense.
Without what?
Without offense.
Without offense. Read.
Till the day of Christ, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Yahushua HaMashiach, unto the glory and praise of God.
Right, so that's how we got to operate right there. All right, the Most High and Yahushua are our examples. There's no reason for us to act like we don't know the blueprint, to act like we're lost, to act like we're, you know what I'm saying, confounded, confused. There's no more room for that. It's time for us to get it together. Let's focus. Luke 2:40.
The book of Luke 2 and verse 40.
Read.
And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom.
Filled with what?
With wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And the grace of the Most High was upon him.
See, so that's how we need to abound like Yahushua. All right? Yahushua was ahead of the schedule, man. He was amongst the lawyers and the doctors and learning from, you know what I'm saying, the elders and stuff like that in the temple. All right? And even us in our older age, you know, even the elders, none of us could touch where Yahushua was even as a teenager. So, but the same way that he grew, not physically, but spiritually, and he waxed strong in the spirit, filled with wisdom, because you're not going to wax strong if you're not filled with wisdom. Wisdom is a prerequisite for you to have growth in this truth, right? And the grace of the Most High was upon him, and I pray that it's upon us as well. All right? Let me get, I'm almost done. Give me, I got about 2 minutes. I'm gonna get 3 quick scriptures, all right? 3 or 4. I don't want to be a liar. Let me get 2nd Ezra 14 and 13 from one brother. From the next brother, let me get Micah 2 and 10.
The book of 2nd Ezra 14 and verse 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order.
Do what?
Set thine house in order.
Right. We gotta get our stuff together. Right? The Most High is commanding us to do it now. There's no time to wait. Read on.
And reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
See, so we're gonna reprove our people. We're gonna let them know where they're going wrong. We're gonna show them their sins according to Isaiah 58 and 1. But at the same time, we're going to comfort them. So there's going to be a balance. All right? Nobody's here to just beat you in the ground and kick you while you're down. All right? We have your well-being in mind, all right? We want to see you grow, but at the same time, we can't just let our people BS, all right? So what is the scripture saying here? Set thine house in order, reprove our people, comfort them to be in trouble. So we're here for our people at any time, and y'all know that, right? Male, female, you can pull the leaders to the side, you can get a counsel, you can do what you need to do, but we here for our people, all right? And it says renounce corruption. So that's something that you got to do on your own. Corruption is regarded as anything opposite of the keeping of the laws and commandments of the Heavenly Father. A lifestyle of iniquity, sin, you got to renounce that. Put that down. Go ahead and read. Yeah, 14.
Verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
All that I can't do it, spirit, I'm not sure if I can do it, that has to stop right now. We got to let go of the mortal thoughts and the weak nature. You know what I'm saying? We have to be strengthened in the Most High. All right? The Most High is your help, but then we have brothers and sisters here to help you as well. All right? Here to encourage you as well. Here to build you up as well. So use the brotherhood and the sisterhood for just that. All right? We're with our people. All right? For the long run. Not just right now, but for the long haul. All right? Remember that, though. Go ahead and read.
And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times.
Right. Micah 2:10.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction.
Look, so we got to come up out of the mind state of America, come up out of the mind state that you know, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this. Does the Most High really want me here? I don't know what my place is in this congregation. All of that stuff has to stop. The Most High has each and every one of us, not only in this building here for a reason, all right? But if you're in the truth and you're listening online, social media, whatever the case, right? Facebook, YouTube, guess what? The Most High has you in this thing for a reason. And you got to hang in there. All right? Because the Most High has work for you to do. And that's something that we got to remember. But you can't operate in the mindset of America and think that you're going to do the work of the Most High God. It just don't work like that. So we got to depart from this place on a spiritual level. Don't pack your bags and look for another country to live in. That's not what the Bible's not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Depart out of this world. We can no longer think and operate the way that the world operates, right? We have guidelines. We have rules and regulations according to the Bible. And this is what we're supposed to abide by right here. This is our blueprint. This is our Constitution. All right? And it will never fail you. All right? So what was that next? Did I give another scripture? Last two. So Psalms 18, 1 and 2. And 1 Chronicles 29 and 11, and I'm done. Psalms 18, 1 and 2.
The book of Psalms 18, verse 1.
Read.
I will love thee, O Lord, my strength.
So the Most High God is your strength. He's our strength. But we got to love the Most High. He's only your strength if you keep the commandments. All right? Read on.
The Lord is my rock.
My rock.
And my fortress.
And my fortress.
And my deliverer.
And my deliverer. All right? A rock is very, very hard. All right? If you've ever seen a fortress or a castle or something along those lines to where when you're behind these gates or you're behind this wall or this structure, you feel what? Protected. You feel safe. That's what the Most High provides for us. A dwelling place where it's safe. Read on.
My God, my strength.
My God, my strength. All right? The strength that the Most High provides is a lot more than the strength that we have within our own self. All right? There's a level of physical strength that we have. All right? But that's nothing compared to what the Most High has for us. All right? Because spiritual and mental and emotional strength, it's a lot stronger than physical strength any day of the week. There's no comparison. That's the strength that we need. Spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, to be an overcomer against all odds in this truth. To be able to overcome your emotions, to be able to overcome your feelings, and to be able to focus on the things that are of most importance. All right? It takes strength to do that. It takes spiritual, emotional, and mental strength to be able to rule your spirit. That takes a lot of power, all right? So that's what we're dealing with. Go ahead.
My God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler, and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower.
My buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. The Most High is all that and a bag of chips and then some. How many of y'all agree? All praises to the Most High. Last one. 1 Chronicles 29 and 11, and I'm done. 1 Chronicles 29, 11 through 13. Go ahead.
1 Chronicles chapter 29 and verse 11. Thine, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the victory and the majesty, for all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and thou art exalted as head above all.
So the Most High is the beginning, the ending, the Alpha, Omega. He's everything that we ever think we need, all right? There's nothing outside of the Most High that can fulfill us. There's nothing outside of the Most High that we need, all right? Our lustful desires outside of the Most High it'll never fulfill you. That's why we were in a cycle of repetition, continuing to do the same things over and over again until you couldn't get enough. The club every weekend, fulfilling of the flesh every weekend. It was only a momentary satisfaction, though. The men, the women, the money, everything that we used to seek after to try to make ourselves happy and fill that void, it didn't work because you had to do it over and over and over and over again, all right? And it made you happy momentarily, but guess what? After that, you became disgusted again. Then you did it again. You were momentarily happy, and then you were disgusted again, and then you got tired of that cycle, and now here you are. So the Most High has everything that we need. All right, continue on.
Verse 12, both riches and honor come of thee, and thou reignest over all, and in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand it is to make great, and to give strength unto all.
And to give strength unto all, right? So we have the strength to do everything that the Most High is requiring of us, right? The Most High is not going to leave you hanging. He's not going to ask you to do something that you're not capable of doing, all right? The Most High doesn't work backward like that. Last verse, read.
Now therefore, our God, we thank thee and praise thy glorious name.
So with that, let's all give the Most High a round of applause. And that was my lesson from glory to glory. So happy Sabbath to everybody.